Hi, I'm George Jones. My guests sure love it when you watch my show, and so do I. It just don't get any better than this. That's about as good ever gets. If there's something better, it's something I miss. It just don't get any better than this.
Ladies and gentlemen, George Jones.
If you look for me on a Friday night, it might take you some time. With a payday in my pocket, Lord, I'm a little bit hard to find. I might miss a day of work when old Monday comes around, but the day that I stop loving you, I'll be easy found. There'll be a bells ringing, a choir singing, the preacher saying how you'll miss not having me around. But the day that I stop loving you, I'll be easy found. 6 foot deep, 6 foot down, 6 foot deep, and 6 foot down. I know I let you down and make you cry so many times. Lord knows I'm hard to live with, and I strain the ties that bind. And sometimes you have to search for me and call all over town. But the day that I stop loving you, I'll be easy found. There'll be bells ringing, a choir singing, the preacher saying how he'll miss not having me around. But the day that I stop loving you, I'll be easy found. 6 foot deep, 6 foot down, 6 foot deep, and 6 foot down. Yeah, the day that I stop loving you, I'll be easy found. Oh, 6 foot deep, 6 foot down, 6 foot deep, and 6 foot down, 6 foot deep, 6 foot down. It just don't get any better than this.
It's the George Jones Show with George's guests, Ray Stevens, T. Graham Brown, and Allison Moore. And George will be back too. One of the great things about a show like this is giving a bunch of old friends a chance to get together before the show.
Good to have you, T. Graham Brown.
God bless you, George.
Good to have you on this show today. Ray Stevens, well, I don't know what I'm going to say about you. I'll tell you what. We have met each other, run into each other all over the United States and Canada and everywhere else. We have never had the pleasure of actually being on the stage together. I don't remember now. I may be wrong.
This is our maiden voyage.
This is our big debut.
Yeah.
Ray, it's good to have you.
Thank you.
You've been
Great
very successful here the last few years of doing what you want to do and what they said you couldn't do, a lot of them. And you prove them wrong. Man, you have come on strong, and I love your videos and
Well, thank
things
you.
that you've been doing. And Allison Moore, you're brand
Yes,
new.
sir.
You're
I am.
brand new. I'll tell you
Brand
what,
spanking new.
you're pretty enough to be brand new. And spanking brand new. I heard you've already...
Look how they're looking at each other, George.
The old opossum talking
You
to
might have
I'm
struck a nerve there.
I'm anxious to hear. I'm anxious to hear your new album, and I can't wait. We got a copy at home. A CD.
Good. Everybody
And,
ought to have a copy
Like I
of
said
it.
a while ago, Nancy's listened to a couple of 3 things on there, and I'm looking forward to it. You're a very beautiful young lady, and
Well, thank you.
And if you can sing, and which they tell me you can,
I try.
as well as you look, Shania, look out. Mm-hmm.
Well, you know,
I'm telling you.
I sing country songs, so.
Hey, Now you're after my heart. You're after my heart. I'll tell you what, T. Graham,
Yes, sir.
you do play guitar a little bit, don't you?
Oh, I usually farm it out.
What have you been doing?
I've been working. We've been,
I've been hearing your records all over Florida. You know, we got a little place down there, and we go down there to
I played down in Panama City. Is it close to Panama City?
Panama City.
We're down there. We're doing good, man. I got the first album
I just love your new record.
in 7.5 years, and it's
I think it's the
doing good.
greatest thing you've ever done.
Turn the wine back into
Oh,
water.
turn the wine back into water.
Yes.
It's a beautiful song. Well, you're going to be doing that on the show today,
Yeah,
aren't you?
we're going to do
Great.
that, and another one or two maybe.
You going to take that stupid-looking coat off I bought you?
I don't know. You know, I love that. I had to bring it out here and wear it today. That's the coolest coat. Did you see that coat?
I did.
That's the coolest
I don't know.
coat.
I'm sure the folks are familiar. You know, T. Graham is always wearing them. Well, he used to. I don't know if he
I
does
still
much
do.
anymore, but he used to wear them real colorful things like Morrison used to. You remember
Harold?
Harold Morrison.
Yeah.
And
Now, who's Harold Morrison?
He used to play the banjo, you know, and for Loretta Lynn and a whole bunch of them. Oh my goodness, he worked with my show for a long time. And he's a comedian, you know, and,
And wear loud clothes?
Yeah.
Wasn't
Well,
quite as
just
bad as
jacket,
Spec
just
Roads, was
his little jacket. But anyhow,
Every time I'd see him, I'd say, "Hey, Spec Carly wants his clothes back."
well, I got to see him, T. Graham, so much, you know, and wearing those type of jackets like he was wearing. And when I was down at one of the places on West End, and happened to be looking around for some things for myself, and I saw this thing, and I said, "That's T. Graham, all made over. I gotta get it for him."
See, now that's a friend right there
That's
that'll
a
buy you
true
something when he
friend.
sees
I
something
love
cool.
that.
You've heard a multitude of prayers on my behalf, and I pray one more's not too much to ask. I've tried to fight this battle by myself, but it's a war that I can't win without your help. Tonight I'm as low as any man can go. I'm down and I can't fall much farther. And once upon a time you turned the water into wine, and now on my knees I'm turning to you, Father. Could you help me turn the wine back into water? So many times I've hurt the ones I love. I pushed them to the edge of giving up. They stood by me, but how much can they stand if I don't put this bottle in your hands? Tonight I'm as low as any man can go. Well, I'm down and I can't fall much farther. And once upon a time you turned the water into wine, and now on my knees I'm turning to you, Father. Could you help me turn the wine back into water? I shook my fist at heaven for all the hell that I've been through, but now I'm begging for forgiveness and a miracle from you. 'Cause tonight I'm as low as any man can go. I'm down and I can't fall much farther. And once upon a time you turned the water into wine, and now on my knees I'm turning to you, Father. Could you help me turn the wine back into water? Could Could you help me turn this wine back into water? Yeah, yeah. God bless you. Thank you, band. Thank you. Just call me Little George.
And are you still in Branson?
No, I left Branson. I had a theater there, as you may know.
I come real close myself buying a theater there,
Did you?
or building one, and we were looking at the ideal spot where you had your place, with the land there.
Yeah, that was a great
And,
location. Still is a great location.
Yeah, but I enjoy going to Branson because it's a beautiful scenery, beautiful area.
Yeah.
And some great people there. And a lot of tourists come through there.
Well, they sure do. It's grown quite a bit since I left. There are a lot more roads there now, and the traffic's a lot better.
We got a ticket one time in the bus because we kept in the middle lane.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had 2.5 miles to go, and we stayed in the middle lane and said, oh, they'll get out of our way. They know we're
I had a kidney stone, Branson, one time, and I was going down the middle lane trying to get to the hospital, and this old boy in a pickup truck didn't like that. He was a self-appointed vigilante highway patrol, and he pulled in front of us. I'm over in the passenger side just writhing in pain, and Buddy Calb's driving the car, and so Buddy had to stop, and he told the guy, he said, now, if you don't move that truck, I'm going to get out of this truck and whip your rear end. And the guy took one look at Buddy and said, yes, sir.
Yes,
He
sir.
moved it.
Boy, I tell you, I want to go back just a little bit, show a little clip here on you. You was on stage at the Grand Ole Opry,
Okay.
and I think
How long ago was this?
I don't know.
Long time ago?
Long time
me.
ago. Well, I believe it was.
Oh, no.
Here's Ray Stevens.
I don't want to see this.
He had emeralds and rubies just a dripping off of him, and a ring on every finger of his hand. He wore a big old turban wrapped around his head and a scimitar.
We wore ties back in those days.
And every evening, about midnight, he'd jump on his camel named Clyde and ride silently through the night to the Sultan's tent, where he would secretly meet up with Fatima on Seven Veils, swinging his grade A
How old
#1
were you
U.S.
there?
choice dancer.
I think I was 23.
Cause him and her had a thing going, you know. And they'd been carrying on for some time now behind the Sultan's back. You could hear him talk to his camel as he rode out across the dunes. His voice would cut through the still night desert air. And he'd say, Soul America, which is Aramaic for stop, Clyde. And Clyde say,
How much of this do I have to endure, man? Thank you.
I told him to play the whole thing, but
He cut it short.
Man, that was
Glad that's over.
was that your first?
You're not going to really put that in the show, are you?
oh yeah, it's in there. It's in there.
Man, that song was that the first one? Your first?
That was the
huge
first
hit?
big hit. That was 62, and I started in 57, so I had a few dry years.
Ray, do you play guitar?
No, I don't. I wish I did. I can barely hold one, you know. I'm a piano player.
I'll tell you what, I always loved your voice. Everything is beautiful. You know,
Oh,
that
yeah,
one
thanks.
thing you did with
I
the
love
piano.
your singing.
Yeah, thank
and
you.
maybe we get T. Graham or I get maybe my boy from the band,
Yeah.
D. Wayne Phillip. Let's give him a little hand now, makes him feel
D.
better.
Wayne.
All right, D. Wayne.
Hey George,
He's going to get a haircut tomorrow.
I used to sing some demos for Ray. Ray's got a great studio. Of course, he owns half of Music Row, you know.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
But he's got a great studio. And, man, you play everything on your records, don't you?
Well, I play a lot of things, but no, not everything. I don't play any of the guitars, which is what most people play.
But you do y'all do a lot of that stuff there, though, don't you? Do all that stuff there?
Yeah, we have a lot of fun. Just
How about a little key there for Ray?
what
Just
key you
give me
got,
about
Terry? About an F or
3 or 4 lines
Is that a
there
good
or
key
something.
for you? Look, watch him use the cheater. Well, that's me. That's the way I play one of those. What, you want me to sing a little everything?
Yeah, boy.
Everything is beautiful in its own way, like a starry summer night or a snow-covered winter's day. And everybody's beautiful in their own way. Under God's heaven, the world's gonna find a way.
That's fine. That's fine.
The man.
I wish you'd just do more stuff like that, but you probably got a reason.
Well, you know, you have to go with the flow, so to speak,
Right,
I
right.
think, and sometimes you do. And that's what I've been doing lately, you know,
Sure.
is doing what people expect.
Well, I just wanted to know today that you do other
Well,
things
thanks.
serious than
Thanks.
than all those great videos that you do. I want to hear just a little bit of one of your favorite songs off that album, if you could.
You want me to play one?
Yeah.
All right.
All
Well-
right.
She doesn't have to use D. Wayne. She can play her
There
own
you go.
guitar.
Yeah, we'll
Try to
see.
make me
Hey,
look
Well-
bad.
and,
That's
hey,
okay.
and me
I
too,
scrape on it a
Ray.
little.
That's okay.
Well,
My feelings been hurt before.
What is the name of the new album?
the name of it is Alabama Song. I'm from Alabama,
I know you are.
and I
They
wrote
didn't. I know, but
my
You're from Mobile, aren't you? Down
north of
close.
there, north of Mobile. I'm not from a place near as big as Mobile. I'm from the sticks, and well, my husband and I started writing songs together. I guess shortly after we met, about 5 years ago, and we just kind of fell into this. And
well, you're not much older than that, are you?
5.
Well, you know, I mean,
Well,
you must have
let's
married
see.
awful young.
I did.
That's
I
what
did.
I meant.
I'm 26. So,
All right.
but this is a song called "Easier to Forget" that is one of my favorites. And we did. I'll tell a quick little story. We did this song in the studio the old way. We got everybody in one room, the musicians, and we just
Right.
did a couple takes of it and put it on the record, just
Great.
like that.
All
we didn't
right.
do any overdubs or any of that stuff. So I dig it. So here it goes. I've heard it said life leaves you memories that are precious. If that's true, it hasn't left me any yet. There are none that I've thought of I can cherish. For me, it's easier to forget. Looking back is not the way to mend my heartache. Remembering only brings me regret. When I dig up the past, I find a love that didn't last. So for me, it's easier to forget.
Well, that's beautiful.
Thank
I
you.
like that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know, that's how could anybody
render, don't you?
not like that?
Well, you know, it's country.
That's real country. That's what we call real country.
I can't help it. That's what comes out of me. I found a letter that you wrote me. It said I was your one and only, and you would never ever leave my loving arms. But the truth is all that matters. Your pretty words no longer flatter, 'cause I know they didn't come from your heart. I found your guitar in the closet. I remember when you bought it and how you serenaded me under the stars. Now there's no
catchy tune. I hate to say it, but the songs didn't come from your hearts. In your heart, I believed I'd found the love of my dreams. I hoped my search was through. Remind me what a fool I was to think it was true. I found your ring still on my finger. It's been there since we saw the preacher and swore to him in front of God, death do us part. It's just a 14-karat trinket, but like my promise, I will keep it, even though it didn't come from your heart. I found a letter that you wrote me.
Thank you.
Coming up next, a very special segment with T. Graham Brown and George's Gallery of Pictures.
Oh, me. Always fun when you're in the George Jones Hall of Fame here. Paycheck. I saw Farron Young back there, the late, great Dottie. Hey, Brown. There's plenty enough Brown to go around up here. Thank you, George. George gave me this jacket. Him and Nancy. Hey, like I call it my Picasso jacket. Merle Haggard. Ooh, Merle, you're my favorite. Today I started loving you again. It's my favorite. Can I sing it? Oh, yeah. It's coming to me now. I hear it. Well, today I started loving you again. And Lord, I'm right back where I really always been. I got over you just long enough to let my heart ache me. Then today I started loving you again. What a fool I was to think that I'd get by with only these few million tears I cried. I should have known that the worst was yet to come, and that crying time for me had just begun. And yesterday I started loving you again. It seems I'm right back where I've really always been. I got over you just long enough to let my heart ache me. And then today I started loving you again. Yeah, I got over you just long enough to let my heart
And then today I started loving you again.
You have not worked with him. I have. He kills them. I'll go out there. I'll do my best show. So I've never,
Just
you know, I've
work
always
harder.
opened up for him. I've never gotten to close a show when I work with Ray. And I go out there and I'll do my best job, and they'll be, you know, nice and all. And then Ray comes out and kills them. Kills with.
Ray, say something.
Well, I'm sitting over here trying. I can't get a word in edgewise.
We talk too much.
You people are just the best talkers I've been around in a long time, and I'm just kind of.
Well, I don't know if we're the best, but we can.
Well, I'm interested in what you're saying. You know, I'm learning stuff here.
He Ahabs them.
I
and
love
he,
to open shows. What are you talking
Mississippi
about?
Squirrel.
That's
That's
my
not.
favorite spot in the whole show.
I do. Well, I like it too, but I'm telling you, when
I used to go on
He makes it
shows
good, man.
years ago, and Webb Pierce, a whole bunch of them would be on there. It'd be a big package, you know. Fern, Webb, Red Savine. It didn't, boy, a big package. And they'd be in one room. They'd gather in one room about an hour before the show and start arguing who was going to open and close the show. I said, thank you. I heard it all. I'm opening. And I'd go out, and I just love that spot. I like them when
Me
they're
too.
fresh. What are you doing on the show today, just for the heck of it?
I'm doing a song called "Too Drunk to Fish."
drunk to fish.
Well, it's funny, just the title. That ought to be something else.
Now, me and Harold, this buddy of mine, decided we'd go fishing one time. So we drove to the lake with my brand new bass boat. I brought the fishing poles, the pork and beans, saltine crackers, and the canned sardines, and Harold brought all the booze one man could tote. Now, while I loaded the boat and filled the tank, tried to get that motor to crank, Harold just sat there sipping on a long neck beer. And while I'm steering the boat and tying the plugs, he's drinking moonshine straight from a jug. He was singing Melancholy Baby when we left the pier. We'll never go fishing with a man who has been drinking, 'cause things just might not work out like you wish. Just leave that fool at home to drink. He'd be just as happy fishing in the kitchen sink. Don't go near the water with a man too drunk to fish. Now I was concentrating, perfecting my cast, hoping to land me a trophy bass. Harold was having trouble trying to find a lake. Yeah, and laying there beside him, right at his feet, was an anchor line, coiled up real neat. Harold saw it, went white as a ghost, and hollered, "Snake!" Well, he jumped straight up and began to yell. I said, "Sit down, Harold, and behave yourself. Can't you see that ain't nothing but a piece of rope?" Oh, but he was scared to death, plumb out of his mind, trying not to get bit by that anchor line. He grabbed my shotgun, blew a hole in the bottom of the boat. Harold, never go fishing with a man who has been drinking, 'cause things just might not work out like you wish. Just leave that fool at home to drink. He'd be just as happy fishing in the kitchen sink. Don't go near the water with a man too drunk to fish. Now, too drunk to fish is too drunk to swim. So I'm dog paddling and dragging him. We finally made it to a little sandbar just big enough for two. Yeah, and it was way after dark when that helicopter came with that big searchlight calling our names. And Harold looked up the sky and said, "Lord, is that you?"
Hello down there, Harold.
And then he knelt there in that heavenly glow and said, "Lord, you know I ain't ready to go, so if you just pass me by tonight, I will reform." And then they threw down the raft and I paddled us home, and he never touched a drop from that moment on. You know the Lord works in mysterious ways, his miracles to perform. Never go fishing with a man who has been drinking, 'cause things just might not work out like you wish. Just leave that fool at home to drink. He'd be just as happy fishing in the kitchen sink.
I don't go near the water with a man too drunk to fish. I don't go near the water with a man too drunk to fish. Whoa, yeah.
How do you think that stuff up?
Well, you know,
Don't you hate it when somebody asks you that? People will ask me all the time, now how do you think of song ideas? How do you come up with stuff to write about? And, you know, I'm like, I don't know. I'm just lucky to get it when I get it. I don't question it, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm sorry for that question.
well, there's little spirits floating around whispering in your ear. That's what it is.
They're just floating in the air, and then
That's
you
right.
get lucky and go.
I never could. I wrote a few songs in the older days, but I never could write one unless it. I mean, just to sit down with someone and try to write it, I couldn't. And I could get over by myself, you know, or come in, you know, off a tour, and sit down on the couch, and the wife would be fixing breakfast, and I'd sit down over there, and I could write whatever hit my head, you know. I could write it in 10 or 15 minutes. Wind Up Above, I wrote in about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Just things like that, you know. They come to me all of a sudden, and they don't do it anymore, but they used to back when I was, you know, was real hungry. When you're real hungry, that helps.
Well, sometimes you get lucky and you'll write one real fast like that, but
Yeah.
that's usually not the case. If you want it to be real good.
Well, if the idea
you
is
gotta work
good,
on it.
the song comes fast. That's been my experience, and I remember when I wrote Everything Is Beautiful, I was bound and determined to write a hit song because it was my first record for a new label, and I wanted it to be a hit. And my piano was in the basement. That's where I wrote in the house we lived at the time, and I stayed down there for 3 days, and there was just wadded up paper all over the room where I had struck out because I couldn't get anything going. And then all of a sudden, boom. And I wrote the song, Everything's Beautiful. I wrote it in like 45 minutes. All I had was a desire at that time. I wasn't tuned in, you know.
Right.
And you got to kind of
if you
calm
got your
down
antennas
and
up,
tune in.
boy, there's no telling how many songs I've missed because I wasn't paying attention.
Well, how many songs have you thought of and didn't write it down and couldn't think of it the next day?
Oh, that makes you so mad.
Oh, I know it.
I've done
I've
that.
done it 100 times.
I've done that in a car, and you have to be in a place, you know, where you didn't necessarily have a pen or a pencil or something.
And I always buy these little recorders.
I got them too.
And they break, or you forget them, or the
You
batteries
forget
run
to set
down.
them by the bed, or you forget.
Well, it would never be with you when you needed it. It'd be everywhere but there. You
Yeah.
know?
I keep a little pad and pencil by my, you know, in my night table.
Yeah.
Because when I, you know, get
Then
to
you
bed
thought
at
of the
night and
idea,
start
though, when
kind
you was
of
driving to
It's
the...
like when you're drifting.
decompressing, you get little things.
But then you jumped in
know.
the car and you drove to the drugstore, and that's when this song hit you.
Yeah.
You didn't have it
Oh,
with you.
no.
Oh, baby. T. Graham, you got to know a little joke that you can tell us about country music.
Well, I know about the turtle that got mugged by the two snails. They hauled
They was in country music? They
Yeah.
like country
Country
music?
music snails.
the turtle. There was this turtle got mugged by two snails. They took the turtle down. They were questioning him about the salt, whatever.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know. It happened so fast.
A turtle said that?
So anyway,
How about that, a talking turtle?
Why don't we try something? Y'all join in.
All right.
You want to sing the harmony or
Yeah,
me?
it doesn't matter.
Or you got the highest voice?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I think I do.
All right.
Well, one of my favorite songs has always been that thing you recorded Dickie Lee wrote.
Dig Lee?
Yeah.
Oh, she thinks that's
She thinks
okay.
that's still care. I went to
Oh,
London one time and recorded that, and I don't think it ever came out, but we did it with a that kind of beat instead of a shuffle.
Joe. But you sung it slow.
Yeah, it was
You
slow,
just had
just straight eights instead of a
Right.
shuffle beat.
That's awful high. Because I ain't been up long.
What key did you record that in?
Oh, I probably cut it in about B natural, I think.
Nobody sings in B natural.
Hey, well, they told me to be natural when I did it.
Okay, that sounds good.
Just because I asked a friend about her. I'll never hit this one. Just because I spoke her name somewhere.
What is that?
What's the next line?
Just because I rang her number by mistake today. She thinks I still care. That's the highest I've been all day, I promise you.
And if she's happy thinking,
Yeah, give us a little chorus, Eric. Come on.
I still mean her.
Can you give us a line there?
Oh, yeah.
Then let that silly notion bring her cheer.
Almost forgot. It's gonna be a little high for you, ain't it?
Yeah.
But how could I ever be so foolish? Now where? Go ahead.
Could she get such an idea?
Oh, y'all got it. Just because I'll ask a friend about her. Just because I spoke her name somewhere.
Just because I rang her numbers upright by mistake today. She thinks I still care.
Oh, Dwayne.
She thinks I still care.
The old possum.
Ladies and gentlemen, George Jones.
Oh, I've come to the point where I've had one too many and one short of having too few. Oh, my bottle of freedom is one drink from empty, and I'm back down to hung up on you. I come here to escape, and some say too often, but not as much, oh, as I would like to. So as high as I get is how low I'll be falling. Oh, back down to hung up on you. Feeling nothing at all for a while sure feels better. Oh, than the hurt you keep putting be back down to hung up home. Yes, I sure as I am have the sunrise tomorrow. I'll be back down to hung up while I'm on you. Hey, folks, we hope you enjoyed our show tonight. Well, you know, we took a fast train with a couple of Georgia boys and a lovely and talented Alabama girl. So please help me thank them tonight, if you will. Ray Stevens. Oh, my boy. My boy. T. Graham Brown. All right. What in the world? Yeah. You got your hair parted.
Hey, Nancy. Hey, Nancy. Want some lima beans?
Son, you look just like me. Good to have you on the show tonight.
Good to be here, George.
All right. I'll swear you look just like me. Your hair is perfect. Yeah, how'd you do that? Oh, my goodness, that boy is a nut. I'll tell you for sure. And Miss Allison Moore, give her a great big. What a beautiful future this girl has got in front of her. Because it's very seldom you get the good, real country music nowadays in Nashville, Tennessee, or anywhere else. It's good to have you, hon. And I'll tell you what, good night, come back and see us. And remember, it just don't get any better